We're going to take a look at another feature here inside of Microsoft Word called Track Changes. Imagine this. You've got a document that you or a coworker or somebody's created that you now want to send out to other coworkers to have them review and make updates to. But as this document is out there among these 3, 4, 10, 20 people, I want to be able to track the changes that each of these individuals are making to this document. The updates they're making, the suggestions they're making, I want to track all of this information. So inside of Microsoft Word, Microsoft gives us a feature called Track Changes. We send the document out. Actually, even before that, before you send the document out, we turn on the option called Track Changes. Once it's active, we send it out to people. And now, as they open it up and begin to make changes to it, deleting content, adding content, formatting content, whatever they're doing to it, Microsoft Word is busy tracking everything they do and taking notes about the changes that they've made to the document. Now, open in front of you, I've got a simple example here. It's an exercise file that you can download right now. It comes with this video. It's called number 23, Word Track Changes. Now, I've messed around a little bit inside this document, and I've activated the Track Changes feature. You can see that it is already saying that, hey, Kyle Pugh, that's me, has formatted the font and made it bold right there. Got a little red arrow or dotted line that points me right in that direction. Down here, I've got some red text with a strike through because that's some text that I deleted out of this document. And if I keep scrolling down, there we go. Kyle Pugh, about 3 minutes ago, formatted the font, made it 12 point, made it bold. And this was an additional bit of text that I've added. It's red and it's underlined. I've added that text. You can see there when I hover over the top of it, date, timestamp, the user who did it, inserted, working with images. So it's tracking everything that I do to this document. If I get in here and make another change, let's say I make this bold, right away, there it is, a few seconds ago, formatted, font, bold. Tracking everything that I do and other people that might be inside this document working in it as well, tracking everything that we're doing in this document. This is Track Changes. A very neat feature, very effective. You've got multiple people going through the document, making suggestions, making updates. We want to track when and who and what is going on inside of this document. So in the next couple of videos, we're going to take a look at a few things here. One, how to activate Track Changes. Get it set up, get it ready to track everything that goes on in this document. We'll take a look at once we've tracked all the changes, you're going to want to go through and start to analyze what changes were made and potentially accept or reject changes inside of a document. And we'll take a look at finalizing the document as well. So make sure you download it, 23 wordtrackchanges.docx, and we're going to work with this document to see how Track Changes works and how we can start to implement it inside of your own working environment. So get ready, make sure you download the file, and we'll get going. The first step when you want to utilize Track Changes inside of a Microsoft Word document is to enable the feature. And this is really simple. It's really a single button press. Take a look. So open in front of you, I've got the 23 Word Track Changes document open. Hopefully you downloaded it in the prior video. If not, you can go download it, or you can open up your own document, either way. But first step, I'm going to go to the Review tab, top of my screen, Review. Over towards the right, you've got actually two sections here. You got Tracking and you got Changes. Now, Track Changes hasn't been activated inside this document. So my first step, before I send it out to the masses and allow people to start making changes to it, is I'm going to activate Track Changes. So I'll go up and click on Track Changes. It's now active. That's it. One button press, and we've now activated Track Changes. Word, anytime somebody opens up this document and begins to make changes to it, will start tracking everything that they do. Who did it? When did they do it? And what did they do to make a change within the document? That's simple. One button press. So make sure you do that first. Activate Track Changes. Just make sure you go to review, tap on the little piece of paper with the pencil, and track changes is up and active. Okay? Now we haven't done anything to the document yet. All we've done was just turn on the option to now start to track it. So get that step done, and then we'll take a look at making edits to the document and how Word captures all this information. So track changes is now active within this document. Now in reality, I would then save the document wherever that's at, my computer, the network drive, back up to SharePoint, wherever, and I would make people aware of this document. They can then go access that document on the network drive or SharePoint or wherever it's at and start to review and make changes of the document. But as they're doing it, again, Microsoft Word is going to track everything that's going on in there. Now I'm looking back into the example file and I've got review and I can see that track changes is currently active. Now there's different ways that we can view the markup of the document or the little comments and little marks that Microsoft Word puts into the document to track everything that we're doing here. The default view, ever since the 2010 release of Microsoft Excel, the default view is what's called simple markup. Okay? So let's take a look at what simple markup looks like first, since that's the default, and then we'll look into a little more involved markup called all markup. So now imagine this document's out there, people are making changes to it. Let's see what happens here. So I'm going to go through a couple different types of changes so we can get kind of a feel for each of them. One, if I format something, let's say I take that text, I'm going to go to home, I'm going to make it bold, I'm going to change its color, let's go blue, and I've now made some changes. Now with simple markup, back to review, and simple markup is my current markup option here. All it did was create this vertical line, red vertical line there. Now let's make some other changes. Let's come down here, I'm going to grab this last sentence, I'm just going to delete it. Gone. Okay, deleted it. Oh, Microsoft Word just put another line there. Let's make some more changes. So I've done some formatting, I deleted something. Let's scroll down. I'm going to add some text. Let's put something down here. Let's say fun with videos. All right. Now, once again, Microsoft Word has put another vertical line in there. Let's even format that a little bit. Let's make it bold, bump that up, and we'll change the color. We'll make this one kind of, wow. Let's do blue again. All right, so I've now made 3 separate types of changes within this document. And again, simple markup. Microsoft Word is kind of roughly denoting where the edits have been made within this document. Now, that's great. Imagine you've got 5, 10, 20 people making changes to this document. You're getting a rough idea as to where the changes are being made. Now, they introduced this feature again back in the 2010 edition, the simple markup feature. Okay? And it's nice and clean. It's not overcrowded. It's not really a lot of clutter in there. It's just giving you an idea where the edits are being made. Now, if I go back up to review, back into where it says simple markup, I'm going to change it from simple to all markup. So now I'm going to get much more elaborate, much more descriptive notes about what's being edited here within this document. Remember the first one, I made some formatting edits. So I can see that they got a red dashed line there. It's showing me where the change has been made. Kyle Pugh, I did it about 2 minutes ago. Made the font bold, changed the color to accent 1, which is that blue color. Down here, I deleted that one out. Complete sentence gone. Now it's red text and it's striked out. Okay, letting me know that that was deleted. And I'm hovering my mouse over and I can see Kyle Pugh at this date, this time, deleted that text. Now I scroll back down. Remember, I inserted some text. It becomes red and underlined. Kyle Pugh, a few seconds ago, font 14 point bold, font color accent 1. We added that text. So now Microsoft Word is giving me much more elaborate notes about the changes that have been tracked within this document. Now, once again, if you got 5, 10, 20 people in here, it's going to give you notes about all the changes that everybody's made. And it'll tag it appropriately. I'm in here making the edits, then Kyle Pugh. You're in there making the edits, it'll give you your name. So I can track who's making changes to this document. Okay? Pretty slick. Microsoft Word is doing it all for me. Okay? You ever have to do that in the past? What if we sent a document out in email, just kind of threw it out there and was like, okay guys, let's go review the document, make your updates to it. And now you got to gather all those emails back up and manually go through and kind of compare and contrast the documents. Well, with track changes turned on, we can have just one document out on the network drive, up in SharePoint, wherever it's at. Everybody's making changes to it, and we could track it all within one document. You could even do, if you want to, separate documents, but activate track changes and get Word to do some of the work for you. Okay? So try this out. Make sure you got the exercise file, turn on track changes, and make a few edits. Whatever you want to do. Add something, format something, delete something, whatever you want to do. Try making changes in there and see how Word captures it. Now remember, you're going to get simple markup by default, just those vertical lines. You may want to change it to all markup to be able to see the more in-depth descriptive notes about the updates. Now, a little tip here. If you click on the vertical line, this will change it to all markup for you. You can click on the line again. It'll take it back to the simple markup. Okay? But try this out. Track changes is on. Make some changes to it and watch how Microsoft Word makes your life easier and starts to track the changes made within this document. Now, ultimately, once you've sent the document out and people are making changes to it, you want to be able to bring that document back in and start to review all the updates and changes that you and others have made to the document. I want to be able to go through each of the changes and either accept the change or reject it. If I accept it, it'll take whatever the user did to the document and bring that in. If I reject it, it'll take it back to the default state, to the original state that the document was in before the change was made. Take a look. This is how you can go through once track changes is active and accept or reject changes made to the document. Now, once again, I've got the example file open, 23 Word track changes, and I've made a few changes to it. I've formatted something, I've deleted something, and I've added something to the document and done a bit more formatting as well. Now, I'm back up to the Review tab, top of my screen. Underneath the Tracking section, I've got a Reviewing pane. The Reviewing pane is going to allow me to see all the changes in one spot. And I can go through and accept and reject the changes. I can also use the Changes section to go through each of the changes, say, hey, go to the next one, review it, go to the next one, review it, and so on. And as I'm going through next and previous states of the document, I can either accept or reject the changes right there. Now, whatever method you choose, the reviewing pane or going through next and previous changes and accept and rejecting, in the long run, you're going to get the same results. It's just two different ways to do it. Me personally, I like to use the reviewing pane. It just gives me a one-stop shop for everything right there, and I can view the changes. But by using the changes, I can go next and previous and actually jump through the document. There's going to be some formatting changes that you actually got to see before you make the change. So using the changes and next and previous might be beneficial as well. So I'm going to go to Review pane. Place it over by default on the left, but I can change that to be horizontal, put it at the top actually as well, either way. But here I got it on the left, and I can see all the changes right there. There's been 4 revisions made to this document. Formatting, deletion, some more formatting, and some insertion as well. So now I can go through these. If I right-click on one of them, let's say like this formatting, bold, font color, accent, that was the first sentence in that paragraph. I'll right-click on it, and I have an option to be able to accept the format change or reject it. Let's say I accept it. I'll go ahead and accept that one. All right, that's good. It's done. It's no longer tagged up there as being a change. You can see that the little red vertical bar has now gone away. Now I get down here, which is the deletion, save time in Word with new buttons to show up where you need them. Well, you know what? I actually want that. We shouldn't have deleted that. Let's get rid of that. Let's bring that paragraph or that sentence back into this document. So I'm going to right-click that one, and I'm going to reject the deletion. So now I got that sentence back, no longer a red mark inside there. And I can continue going, accepting and rejecting the various changes made within this document. Okay? Or perhaps I could just leave it alone and allow somebody else to come along or have a little brainstorm meeting, and we can decide together whether or not we should accept or reject the changes that have been made to this document. So try this out. Again, make some changes to the document with track changes active. Go to review, open up the reviewing pane, or use the previous and next steps here and step through the document. Start to accept or reject changes made by other users, or in this case, by ourselves. So try this out. Accept some, reject others, whatever you want to do. I'll leave it up to you. Now, the last step, after you've gone through and you've allowed people to put in their own 2 cents and start to make changes to the document, you've now gone in and started to accept and reject changes. Let me just finish these two. I'll just accept both of these. Let's say I accept that one and I'll accept that one. So you've gone through, you've accepted, you've rejected changes. Now, you want to finalize the document. I want to turn off track changes. Now, we saw just a couple videos ago how simple it was to turn on track changes. Now we want to turn it off. So I'm going to close my revision or my reviewing pane, turn that off. I'm going to go back to review, and all I'm going to do is just click right on track changes again. Now I've turned it off. I make changes to the document. Microsoft Word has no clue anymore. It's not tracking anything. You've deactivated it. It's now off. That simple, one button press. Just like turn it on, one button press, you're tracking changes, you're done, no longer want to track them, turn it off. Click the button again, and you're done. So try this out. Go through the whole process. Hey, if you haven't been following along so far, open up the document, turn on track changes, make some changes, accept, reject those changes, and then once you're all done, turn it off. Right back to review, track changes, it's off. Make changes to the document, no longer being tracked. So try this out. Big feature. Huge advantage here. Save you loads of time as you collect feedback and changes made by yourself, your team, your managers, whoever it is. Track all those changes all in one spot, and now you can go back through and accept and reject them. Track changes, a lifesaver, and save you loads of time within Microsoft Word.